5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, yeah. I definitely had sex with that woman. How's it going, guys? Trey Clark here, as I usually am. I'm going to try and keep this short and sweet, and I appreciate you tuning into Trey Clark Theories. Make sure you go to YouTube and click on the subscribe button, ring the bell, all that stuff. But we are talking about something that no one else is really talking about. Now, we know the elephant in the room is the virus. We know that the virus has kept us from being closer than 6 feet to each other. We're not able to go to work and get your hair cut or mow the yard in some states or whatever. We know that. Okay, I think that's the left hand keeping us busy. As bad as it is, I believe that it's a sleight of hand trick. Just so we're so mad and pissed off at the things that affect us now that we're not seeing the big picture. And I've just kind of stumbled across this idea for no good reason, but going, wait a minute, this is too easy. And so what the right hand might be doing is cutting off our supply chain. Now, I know that sounds like a weird thing to say as an American because we can produce and grow and shoot anything we want. But let's think this through. If you're going to win a war, which we are at war, don't you fucking kid yourself for 1 second, okay? We are at war. And it just because there aren't tanks rolling down the street, just because we haven't seen the drones yet. No one's kicking down your door to stick a needle in you, for a mandatory vaccine. We are at war. They want us caught up in that. What the right hand is doing is they're cutting off the supply chains. Okay? In Michigan, that wasn't random where the seeds were unavailable legally to buy. In Texas, it's not an accident that ranchers are being forced to euthanize. I think it's by court order, but I need to double check. But I know it's happening. Euthanize their harvest-ready, healthy cattle that need to go straight to the butcher and straight into the economy, and we're buying outside cattle. Why would that be? Why would you give a fuck about seeds if you weren't trying to do something sinister? Why would you give a crap about healthy cattle and tell ranchers to put them down? So if we're not paying attention to that, then we're not really doing our job and we might deserve what we get. Okay, so they're cutting off our supply chain. In a war, it's not about who kills the most people versus the other side. It's about starving them out. It's about choking them out. It's about keeping them from being able to basically maneuver at all, whether it's food or whether it's ammo or whether it's clothing or whether it's communications or whatever. You cut off their communication, you cut off their food supply, you choke them out. It's their supply chain. Then they can't do anything. And then you go in and it's pretty easy to roll over them. Now, sometimes at war, you can just go in and just dominate, roll in and kill them. But let me tell you, the United States is not an easy target, okay? It is huge. And we have all kinds of terrain. We have four-wheel drives almost in every other household. We got ways to defend ourselves, 300 million guns, and who knows how much ammo. We're not the most fun target in the world. So they can't really come in, even with Apaches and drones and all that stuff, they're just going to lose. There's no fucking way. Even if our entire government turns on us, they cannot take the United States. And they know that. So what can they do? Well, they can weaken us, but another thing they can do is fuck with our supply chain, which sounds weird because our supply chain is local, right? I'm in Texas, and to convince me that it's going to be hard to get beef at any point in time, I just normally tell you, you're fucking crazy. But they're putting down their own cattle. Whether they're getting bought off or whether it's court ordered, I don't know. I'm looking into that, and that's not good. When Texas is buying cattle from Africa, and it's not like Japanese Wagyu shit, that's bad. That means there is something at play. Now, there is a bill that has already passed through Congress that takes away the requirement to put the origin of your protein on the packaging. That's a big deal. We want to know where our beef comes from. Well, it's on the Senate floor. It passed through Congress. Once they do that, they don't even have to tell you whether to wake up or not as far as what you're eating and where it came from. It's a big deal. Congress, who can't even do anything ever and barely even shows up to work, somehow very quickly finds a reason to take an interest in food label stuff, seeds. You see my point here? This isn't by accident. It's not because they're bored. There is a plan, and they are carrying it out. You cannot beat us in a war face to face. There's just no fucking way. There's too much firepower. There's 300 million guns. It's almost one gun per person in the United States, and that includes babies and old people that are about dead from COVID-19, of course. So what can they do? Well, they can break us financially to where we are weak. We can't keep our lights on, that type of thing. Well, they took their first swing at us with that. And they're acting like they're letting us go back, a little bit at a time. But let me tell you, I've run restaurants for a long time operating at 25% capacity. And that's what a lot of the states are saying. All right, we're going to meet you halfway. That ain't halfway. That's worse than being closed. That means all your utilities, all of the fees and all of your things that you have to run with, your air conditioning, your freezers, your labor, your salaried employees, your internet, all those things have to be running at full force, but they're saying you are going to run at 25% capacity. So as much as everyone wants to think this is a good step in the right direction, it is a sucker punch. And they are saying, fuck you, we're going to run you into the ground. If you can be 4 feet away from someone rather than 6 feet away, use your brain. It's a scam. I mean, how else do you look at it? None of this makes any sense. Why is the supply chain something you need to pay attention to? Look at what's happening to the people who provide your local goods. Your produce, your beef, your poultry, your eggs, your dairy, the stuff that they're dumping out at Mach 5, and, what the hell is causing them to do that? Are we eating less? Is that what's happening? Has the population decreased? No. It is a scam. They cannot win our turf face to face. So right now, while we are concerned about whether or not we have to wear a mask or not, they are killing our supply chain. Get that through your head. Watch your supply chain. Pay attention to labels. Ask your butcher, what is going on here? Where's our stuff coming from? It's important because if they isolate our local people to where they can't operate like they normally do, and then put us on the teat of a foreign entity, then they can shut it down at will. It's not that easy to tell me I can't go to my local butcher and buy half a cow. It's not that hard for them to say, there's no beef at your grocery store today. So does that make sense? Please pay attention to the supply chain. That's how you win a war. And we are at war right now. Pay attention. Hope you guys are good. My name's Trey Clark, and I'm out.
when I'm home. I only stay when I'm gone. I only ride to get thrown. I only tread not to sing. And I can't move when I'm bound by the weight of this town. But I got these wheels in the ground. I'm not saying but I'm sound. I only smoke when I drink. I only smoke when I drink. I only drink when it hurts. It only hurts every day. Every day it gets worse. Worse is being alone. At least alone I can think. Thinking's best for the smoke. I only smoke when I drink. I can't run when I'm tired. I can't sleep when I'm wired. I can't work, I got fired. And I can't dream while I think. And I can't move when I'm bound by the weight of this town. I got these wheels in the ground. I'm not saying but I'm sound. I only smoke when I drink. I only smoke when I drink. I only drink when it hurts. It only hurts every day. And every day it gets worse. The worst is being alone. At least alone I can think. Thinking's best for the smoke. I only smoke when I drink. If I could smile at this sadness, but method the madness, then maybe I won't have to think. So riding these fences would only make sense is that I only smoke when I drink. I only smoke when I drink. I only drink when it hurts. It only hurts every day. And every day it gets worse. Worse is being alone. At least alone I can think. Thinking's best for the smoke. I only smoke when I drink. Think I might have a smoke. Only smoke when I drink.